All right. Good morning. Good morning. I have a couple that wants a recording, so I'm going to go ahead and record. We've been on the niyamas. So last week was Santosha. Now this week is Santosha, and it means contentment. It kind of sounds like contentment, Santosha, kind of flows. And so we all have these times where we say, well, as soon as I lose 5 pounds, I'll be happier. Or as soon as I achieve this goal, then I'll be happy. And Santosha is here to say, just be content and happy with the moment, with the now. I mean, you can always have these goals, but it's not going to change who you are inside. It's just going to be a milestone for you. So you may as well enjoy what's going on and where you're at right at this moment. And that's Santosha. And in yoga poses, sometimes we have, I'll be happy when my hip works right, or my back feels better, which I've been there today, let me tell you. But then we miss out on a lot of our life if we're always working on that. So if I can get a pose and you can't, don't be like, I'll be happy when I can get that pose. It's okay. So I'm glad you're all here. So turn inward. Just tune into your breath. And then fine tune it a bit by just allowing it to lengthen out, deepen without any effort. Just bring hands to heart center. Okay, we all adopt the niyama Santosha, or contentment, self-acceptance. There's lots of good and beauty with what we have right now. Please lower your hands, open your eyes, and just start by rolling your shoulders a little bit. Switch directions. And then fold forward a little bit. And just go to where the limiting factor is, whichever hip it may be. And come on up. And bring your feet out for another little shoulder stretch. So right hand to the side, reach across, step on the gas, lengthen that left side of your body and stretch it out. Draw the sternum back, tuck the chin. Oh. And switch. And then come on out. Switch the cross of your legs. And fold forward again. We all have a tendency to do it one way, so it kind of feels different when we do it this way. Good. And then come on up and grab one block. Sorry, I should have told you to have it handy. And stretch your legs out. And just bring the block under your left leg. So I put it like right on the lower edge, right where my knee bends, and then put it under my thigh. And then just kind of sit up nice and tall. We're just going to quad strengthen today. So lift and squeeze the quads and just feel, are you doing it evenly and lower? And do this 10 times. Just kind of feel the quads and lower. We all want to have strong quads because that's how we don't shuffle our feet. You can do this while you're watching TV or wrapping presents. Anybody know how many we've done? Let's say that's 8, 9, 10, and hold it now. Squeeze it a lot. Really hug the muscle to the bone. You can feel them. Make sure you're using all of them, and feel the connection to the knee and release. Good. And now switch. You want the other leg to be able to kind of help you. So check and make sure you're still nice and tall. Flex the feet and then start. And feel. Maybe one side's a little different than the other. Nine. And then on 10, hold it. Feel that. Really hug it to the bone. And release. Good. Come on to all fours now. And just start to move in a big figure 8. So feel every joint kind of getting warmed up a little bit. And you can switch directions. And then come to a flat back position. And just very mindfully move through cow and then cat. You can move with your breath. So inhale to cow. Exhale, round to cat. Keep going. One more. Good, and then take child's pose. Keep your arms stretched long. You can walk your fingers forward a little bit if that feels good. Find contentment in every pose. So if you're breathing, it helps you to find that. Please come on up to all fours and swivel your left foot to the side. So your knee stays there. Swivel the left foot to the side. Extend the right foot long. Bring the right hand to the hip. Make sure your left hand slightly in front of your shoulder. And stretch the arm up. And maybe over by your ear. Feel really nice and long. The side plank variation. That's gorgeous, you guys. And come on down. And switch now. So swivel the right foot, and the left hand to the hip so you can find connection. Just bones stay back. Rib cage is back. Stretch the arm up and over. Shoulder blades back, long back of neck, all the way long through the top of the head. And come on down to all fours and just stretch your right foot off to the right. Feel that. See if you can get the kneecap and the toe pointing the same direction. And I like to really press my foot down because then it helps me feel a really nice stretch. And then you can move forward and back. If there's a place that feels good to linger, you can. Rib cage back. And then come on in to switch. My foot extends. Linger if there's a spot that feels good. Good, and then come on in. Swivel the left foot again. Stretch the right foot in line with the knee. Make sure the hand's in front. Open up to that side plank again. Extend the arm and then think, okay, I'm going to keep everything and maybe lift the back foot. Yeah. Nice and long and connected. And lower the foot. Come on down. Switch. Right foot swivels, left foot. Just lining everything up. The sit bones stay back. The rib cage is back. You're lengthening. And then see, maybe the leg will lift. It doesn't work if it's the wrong foot. Good. And come on down. Go ahead and take a small child pose. And just do it where your knees feel like it's a good stretch and you can find Santosha. And then please make your way up. You might have to move your hands forward a bit. kind of place them appropriately. Come to downward facing dog. Find all parts of your hand working and connected. Armpits rising, rib cage back, hip bones back. Bend one knee and the other. That feels good. And then even if you're on blocks here, come forward to plank. And push back, down dog. Just notice what changes if both sides are working equally as you come forward to plank again. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale, plank. Exhale, down dog. And then lower your knees, come off your blocks, come forward to a woman's push-up plank position. So you're over your wrist and then lower down through to the mat. Stretch your feet long. Remember what we did last week and think, I'm gonna come up to Cobra. You can use your hands for this one. Stretch everything out. Try not to scoop your tail, but think connection through the core. And come on down. And push on back. Downward facing dog. And we're gonna walk the hands back to the feet. Forward fold Uttanasana. And just pause there. You can sway a little bit if you'd like. And then think, I'm gonna round up. I might have to bend my knees a little bit. I'm gonna round the low back. I'm gonna come up one vertebra at a time. Coming on up to standing. Right? Getting there. See, awesome. Interlace your hands. Press the palms forward. And just notice your feet. I'm gonna do my thing where I know it's gonna be a stretch and then stretch up. And arc to your right. You can let your hips sway a little bit to the left if you'd like. Pause for a moment. Shoulders and hips stay square to the front. And then come on up and switch. Yeah, if it's better for you, you don't have to interlace your hands. Good idea. Come back to center and release. Okay, now I'm going to have you stand on your right foot and lift your left heel. And just check your core and then lift the knee. Keep your eyes focused on the floor. See if you can not use your hands and just hold it for a moment. Your arms are there to help you balance and release. And switch, kind of shift your weight. Lift the heel first. If you can really use your core, lift the knee and hold. Release. Good job. It's always easier the second time too. So we're gonna do the same thing. You can go slow, lift. And then transition this time for tree pose. You can help it there if you need to. Really being mindful. Maybe stretch the arms. And release. And switch. So lift the heel first. Engage the core. Lift the knee. Transition if you feel like it. You don't have to. And release. Good. Okay, grab both blocks. Come to the front of your mat. And then just step back to all fours for a moment. I want you to get set up. So your hands are slightly in front of your knees, and then just bring your right foot forward. And check heel, knee, hip, all on the same line, both sides. And then hug, heel towards knee, knee towards heel. Bring your hands up to the thigh. And just go for a little hip flexor stretch. You'll feel it everywhere, but keep your core engaged. You can even let the knee come forward of the ankle if you want. If your hips stay square and your shoulders stay square, feel that stretch. Touch down, slide the hips back, flex the foot, and have to move the heel forward because you want your left hip to be above the left knee. Hug the right leg into the socket, maybe keep a baby bend, and stretch out over that right leg. You can stretch the toes. Once you have that integration, remember squeezing the muscle to bone. You have that integration throughout the whole leg. Stretching the toes feels good, not overstretching. And baby folding. Good. Bend into the front knee. Hug to the midline. This time, stretch all the way up to Anjane Asana. And touch down. Good job. We'll switch. Left foot forward. Hug to the midline. Hands to the front knee. And just stretch. Stay really connected. Feel all parts of your left foot connected. You're hugging right knee forward. Left heel back. Maybe bend a little deeper to stretch out the hip flexors. Everything stays connected through the core. And then touch down, slide back to that runner's lunge. Everything's lined up. Draw the leg in the socket. Baby bend in the knee. Maybe stretch the toes, maybe stretch out over the leg. Big stretch in your hamstring. Left thigh crease, move back and maybe wide so the leg stays centered. Good. Then back into the front knee. And lift the back knee and step back to down dog on the block. And then step your right foot to the outside of the right block. Yeah, lower the back knee. You might have to turn the toes out slightly because you want your kneecap and toes to point the same direction. I want your torso to be straight ahead, so it's like your right leg's kind of an outlier for this variation. Think sits bones back. I'm still hugging heel to knee to heel, but I'm keeping the hips square, the shoulders square. Maybe lower to the block. Maybe your knee can move a little further to the right. Humble pose. Yeah. And you don't have to lower to the blocks if that doesn't feel okay. Just stay up on your hands or maybe just the one block. And if you're really feeling stretchy and you want to go deeper, you can try it without, but keep everything else the same. Couple breaths. Takes lots of breath to find contentment in that pose. Good, and then come back up on your hands. Lift the back knee and step back. Down dog on the block. Now you know where we're going. So the left foot extends and steps to the left side of the block. Lower the back knee. Keep everything connected. Sits bones back, rib cage back. Lower down to see how it feels. Everything's lined up. Honor that. I always want to keep my foot really active, but maybe I'll try and widen the knee out to the side. It's easy to lose the straight core though, so be mindful of that. Find contentment by checking in with your breath. And then coming back up on the blocks, lift the back knee, step back, down dog. And then just walk your feet up between the blocks to a forward fold. Bring the blocks forward so you're in pranam. Baby bend in the knees so you can get the sits bones back and apart. Just think core, nice and connected. And bring your right hand to your hip and just do a little twist. And release and twist the other direction. Hip stays square, nothing changes. You just get in the core. Good, and then unwind. Bend the knees, hands to the knees. Come upright and push into your feet and come on up to standing. Good, now you might want to grab a belt if your shoulders are tight. We're just going to do a little stretch here. So find your feet, find your legs really strong, long side body. Draw the head of the arm bones back, but with the rib cage engaged, and interlace your hands behind you. Shoulders, and if you're grabbing the belt, knuckles straight back, and then you can turn them towards each other so the thumbs are on the inside. And then think to yourself, I want to broaden the clavicles and maybe stretch the arms back a little bit. And then you're just going to fold forward and allow the arms to come over top. Keep a long back of neck, widening of the clavicles. And just see how it feels. Find contentment. You don't want it to cause pain anywhere, so you're not forcing it. And then release the hand. Grab the blocks, bring them by your side of your feet. And then inhale, pranam. Feeling that really strong back body. Exhale, fold. And please step your right foot back to deep lunge. Lower. Actually, keep the back knee up. I forgot what I was going to do. Ground the back foot down. Bring the left block to the inside. So the left knee and toes point ahead. And then you're just going to walk the blocks more to an angle. Keep the right foot grounded and come to down dog lunge. So you're just kind of stretching out. Kind of like down dog hands. But you're in a lunge position. Make sure the left knee is pointing straight at the toes. You're really grounded to your right foot. And then walk back in. And block to the outside of the foot. Turn the right heel up. Step back. Downward facing dog on the blocks. Extend the right leg and step it through. Same thing, ground the left foot down, walk the blocks like to an angle, keep the back leg grounded, bend the right knee towards the right toe, down dog lunge. Your arms are still hollow, rib cage is back, the bones are back. Good, and then come on back in. Turn the back heel up. And just lose the blocks for a minute to step back to down dog. So we're going to do vinyasa. If you want to, you can do child's pose as well. So if you're doing vinyasa with me, check your down dog. Come forward to plank. Lower. Cobra. Lower. You can do plank to down dog or just push all the way back, downward facing dog. And step your feet to your hands, forward fold. I'm going to use blocks again. And inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep and rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close your eyes for just a minute and just check in, see how everything's feeling. I read a quote by Virginia Woolf. She said, "I'm grounded, but I still flow," which I thought sounded like a really yogic thing. So feel that you're grounded, but you can still flow. So inhale, open your eyes and stretch up. Exhale, fold forward. Pranam. And step your left foot back first to deep lunge. Ground it down and make your way up to a warrior two position. Track the knee straight. Feel the back foot really engaged. Come up, warrior two. You can extend your arms. Bring your left hand to your hip. Your right elbow to your knee or to the block. You decide. Lengthen out, Parsvakonasana. You can extend the arm. Stretch it over. You'd like. Keep that back foot grounded. Keep the core engaged. Lengthen up through the top of your head. Good. Touch down. Turn the back heel up. Step back. Down dog. Come forward to plank. And push back to down dog. Extend the left leg and step it through. Deep lunge. Ground the back foot down. Check your alignment. Come up, warrior two position. Good. Parsvakonasana. You can bring hand to the hip to transition. So you can really feel that length. I like to use my arm and my leg together. Extend the arm, stretch it over if that feels good. Shoulder blades back, rib cage back. Oh, good. And then touch down. Turn the back heel up. You can lose the blocks to step back, down dog, or so again, child's pose or downward facing dog or vinyasa. Inhale. Come forward to plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Downward facing dog. I'm grounded, but yet I can flow. And I can flow if I'm tapped into my breath. Tapped into something greater than just my limited physical self. And step forward, forward fold. Get what I Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Exhale, hands to the heart center. Slow and inhale, stretch up. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. I'm going to use the blocks again under my hands. I'm going to step the right foot back first this time, but not too far so you can ground the heel down. You might turn the toes out slightly. And then really feel both feet grounded. Your hips stay square. Hip creases move back. Really feel that back foot. Little curve in the low back. Think rib cage back. Long back of neck. And then maybe fold a little deeper, Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose. Come on back up like a pranam. Bend the left knee. Step the back foot back a little further and make your way to crescent. Everything square to the front. And please touch down. Good, step forward. Just switch. So left foot steps back, not too far. You want to be able to ground the heel down. And I still like to check to see if everything's lined up. My feet might be a little wider because that gives me a really good base. Feel both feet. With bones back and apart. Rib cage back, long spine, and maybe fold. Really feel that back foot grounding you. If the heel's not down, you've stepped too far. Back, leg, and foot grounding you is key to this pose for me. Inhale, come up, bend the front knee, step the back foot back a little further, come up, crescent warrior. Take your time. Make sure the alignment's there. One more breath. And you're slowing down to the blocks. Good. Move the blocks. Step back, down dog. Vinyasa or child's pose, your choice. So inhale to plank if you're doing vinyasa. Lower, cobra. Lower. Push up to down dog or push back to down dog. And step your feet to your hands, forward fold. Inhale, pranam. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep all the way up. Hands through heart center. We got one more sun salutation. So inhale, stretch. Surya Namaskar. Exhale, fold. Pranam. And fold. Step the right foot back to deep lunge, ground the back foot down, bring the left hand to the inside, walk your hands towards the center, turn the left foot in. And then just kind of check your feet. Are you grounded through all parts of your feet? Your weight's right in the middle, your arches are lifting. And then maybe fold a little deeper, just enjoy for a moment. Prasarita Padasana. Always welcome to use blocks here. You just want to feel connected through all parts of your legs, but also through your core. And then come up like a pranam. So if you're using blocks, perfect. Hands right under shoulders. Right hand to your hip. Little twist. Keep the right foot grounded. Gonna feel a twist. And then unwind and twist the other way. I have to keep a really good connection in my core, keeping the sit bones back, and then unwind and fold forward one more time. And you feel both big toe mounds on both feet. Little toe mounds inside of heel, outside of heel. Good. Now come up a little bit, walk your hands back towards your left foot, turn it out, turn the right heel up, and step back, downward facing dog. And come on down to your knees. And sit back and watch me. So we're gonna do Vasisthasana, and you can do Vasisthasana on your elbows too. So it's side plank. And I'm gonna be very mindful with mine. So I like to, some people prefer to step the foot and then turn and open up. And notice how my hand was too close under my shoulder. You want to protect your shoulder like that. I like to start with feet wide, swivel, and come into it like that. So you decide which one of those. So come to downward facing dog. Make sure it's a stretched out down dog so you have plenty of room. And either step the left foot a third of the way up the mat, or keep the feet nice and wide and swivel the heels to the right. And then see, I have connection. Can I lengthen and come to side plank? Rib cage is back, long back of neck. Good, and come on out and flow right into the other side. So heels swivel to the left if that's where you're going. Good, and come on down. What's the conversation? Take a child's pose. It really doesn't matter. Are you okay, Helen? You can do that knee down variation too. Oh, shoot. Okay. I wanted to do side plank variation one more time, and I'll give you the option of stacking your feet this time. So you'll have your feet a little closer together in down dog. And then some of you might want to go even from there to more of a full bossy stuff night. Susan might want to do that. So come on up, down dog. Swivel your left foot and stack your right foot on top, and then just slowly transition up. Stretch your arm by your ear if you like. If you want to try and lift the top leg, you can. Oh, goodness. And release. Take a child's pose in between. Really have to use your core and side plank. If you feel like your hips are sagging, it's not good. You may as well step the foot and support yourself, or do it from your knees. It's okay. And if your shoulder's hurting, you can choose something else, Laura. Okay, one more side. Then I promise we'll do something else. Oh, shoot. Well, we started late, so it's okay. Little toe side of the right foot. Stack the left foot. Side plank. Stretch the arm by the ear if you'd like, if that feels good. If you want to, lift the top leg. If you want to do anything else funky, you can. And release. Child's pose one more time. And selfishly, I want to do a little hip opener. And for some of you, it's better if you have knee issues, if you do it on your back and just do baby cradle, because we're going to do pigeon prep. So you can start from all fours or from down dog. And you're just going to bring your left knee to the side or behind the left wrist, and then lower the right knee. You might have to walk that right knee back, and then just think, I'm going to keep everything square and keep my core engaged. And you can stay on your hands, or you can lower to your elbows, or you can lower all the way down. So just check, hips are square. Shoulders are square. Core is nice and engaged. You're hugging knee to knee. You don't want to just dump into that hip. That's overstretching. In fact, I keep my foot curled, my toes kind of curled under, so I can really press the left foot down and just get more into that hip. But you don't have to. Most people stretch their toes under. If you remember that muscle energy, you don't have to do it. Sometimes I forget, especially on this side. And then place the hands unwind, and switch sides. Make sure the knee's nice and wide. Yeah, there you go. I'd have to walk the left knee back a little bit. Just find your strength and stretch into it. I'm attempting to get my right sits bone back and wide because I have a tendency to hug it in. And just notice what you do. One side always feels different than the other. Right, Carrie? Did you switch, Helen? Already did it, didn't you? Good. And then come on up. Unwind. Lower your knees and transition to your back. Turn those lights off. And with your knees bent, you can just do a few windshield wipers. So bring the feet nice and wide. And you can go at your own pace. I like to have my arms in cactus or T. Go at your own pace and just linger where it feels like a nice stretch. Or you can just do it fast, because today it sounds like we might need to fast windshield wipers. And then when you're evened out, bring the knees up, bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open for the Baddha Konasana. And then bringing the knees up, hug them into your chest. Kind of roll side to side, thinking I want to lengthen my spine. So every roll, I kind of lengthen down. And then hold on to the knees, push them away, let the feet dangle. I always feel content when I press the femur bones into the sockets. It's really grounding and awesome. And then go ahead and stretch out for Shavasana. Shoulder blades under the heart. And attending to your breath again. Just allow yourself to relax a little deeper, a little more fully with the exhale. You've been fully grounded in this position. There's still a lot of flow that happens with your breath, with your blood. There's a lot of different systems within your body. Even on the smallest level, your cells, there's a flow that happens in and out. I'd like to share a passage from Ralph Gates' book, Meditations from the Mat, and he actually goes through all the yamas and niyamas. And he usually gives a quote at the top and then kind of gives his interpretation of it. So the quote at the top is, "We can easily practice Santosha in the beautiful moments and joyous experiences of our lives. But yogic theory asks us to be equally willing to embrace the difficult moments." By Judith Lassiter. So Ralph says, "Personally, I think that practicing contentment in the beautiful moments is not a bad place to start. I've spent countless high points in my life fretting over this aspect or that aspect of the moment. Will it last? Is it real? Am I worthy? Blah, blah, blah. It has been an ongoing struggle for me to be content in the beautiful moments, to be still in success. I am much better at setbacks. My childhood was a study in setbacks. I endured racism, abuse, and addiction. Paradoxically, my struggles taught me that God is with me, that I can trust the universe, and that tomorrow will, in fact, be another day. Although I have far less experience with things not falling apart, as I write these words, my life is all that I ever hoped it would be. And yet my challenge now is to practice Santosha. My yoga practice right now, all of it, the postures, the prayers, the pranayama, the meditation, and the work off the mat, is devoted to being still while things are going well. My practice is devoted to things being enough. Santosha is the practice of being still with faith, with an open heart and an open mind. We have an opportunity to do this in the postures that we like and the postures that we don't like. Watch your reaction as you move from posture to posture. Where does your mind go when things are going well? Where does your mind go when things are hard? Can the moment be enough? Again, reconnect with your breath. Notice how content the breath is when you're at rest. Start to move in small waves. Eventually, drawing your knees in, rolling to the right. Take your time. Please push on up to seated when you're ready. You can feel Santosha for a few more moments. And for the rest of the day. And please bring hands to heart center. Bow your head towards your heart. Namaste. Thanks, guys. Good. Have a fabulous What is today? Tuesday? Oh, don't forget to cheer for Croatia. 1 o'clock today, yep. 1 o'clock today, yeah. So, yeah. Andy and Kristen and Will are gonna come over and watch it with me, so that'll be fun. Yeah.